Hello guys, welcome back to another cooking video. How are you all doing today? Hope you all are fine. So guys, do you actually know you can make a delicious pot of soup with cottonwood seed? If you are interested to see how I make this recipe, sit back and continue watching and let's get started. So guys, here is the cottonwood seed that I'm going to be using for this recipe. This soup is popularly made by the Edos, specifically the Benin, and they call it Igbo soup. So I'm going to be taking you guys along to see how I make this soup. For all the ingredients that I'm going to use for this recipe, I'll be listing everything in the description box below so you can go ahead and check it out if you want to make this recipe. And I'll be using some oxtail, I'll be using some stockfish and some smoked microfish. I'm going to be using some shaki, some bomo. Now we're needing some dried prawns, crayfish, some washed bitter leaf, palm oil, seasoning cubes, salt, dried chili pepper, and some dawa dawa. You can replace it with ewarie if you have. I'm going to be using these onions and one scotch bonnet to marinate the meat very well because I want the meat to be a little bit spicy. So here I'll be adding the other meat, which is the bomo and the shaki. I'll add some salt. I'm going to add the pepper and the onions that I blend together. I'll make sure I mix everything together. I'll be adding the seasoning cubes. Normally, in those days, my mom used to put the meat direct into the cottonwood seed after finish blending it. But I'm just going to twist it a little bit because I want my meat to be a little bit spicy. That is why I'm going to cook it for about 6 to 7 minutes to add more taste to the meat. I will set it aside. Now I'm going to pour the cottonwood seed into my pot. I'll add some salt. I'm going to soak it for some minutes with some hot water. Then I will set it aside for about 7 to 8 minutes. So now I'm just going to cover the meat. I will allow it to cook for about 7 minutes. So now I'm going to be washing the cottonwood seed, and please make sure you wash it very well. I'm going to be washing it up to 3 to 4 times to avoid sand in your food. I've been cooking this meat for the past 5 minutes. I'm just going to make sure I stir everything together. Then I'll cover it again. I will allow it to cook for more 2 minutes. Then I will set it aside for later. So now it's time for me to blend the cottonwood seed, and you need to add water enough to blend the cottonwood seed. As you can see, I'm adding the water to the level of the cottonwood seed, and this cottonwood seed is very hard, so you need a strong blender to blend it. I will be leaving the link of this blender that I'm using in the description box below. So I've blended the first batch I'm just going to be repeating it until I finish blending all of them. Now it's time for me to filter the juice away from the cotiwu seed to avoid sand in our soup, and I'm going to be using two types of filters. Here is the filter that I'm going to be using. You can as well use a hair scarf or a chiffon material. It's good as well. So I'm going to make sure I squeeze out all the juice away from the cotiwu seed. So now I'm going to add the cotiwu pot back to the bowl. I'll make sure I use my hands to squeeze out all the juice from it. Then I'll filter it back inside the pot. You want to make sure you squeeze it very well with your hands. As you can see, there are more juice in it. So you just want to take off all the juice. So guys, as you can see at the bottom of the bowl, there are some sands and those little articles. So now I'm going to be using this filter to filter it again the second time, just to avoid sand in our soup. So guys, here is the pulp and the cotiwu juice. So now I'm going to start the cooking process. I'm going to cover it, then I will allow it to boil. So guys, as you can see, it's already boiling. I'm just going to give it a nice stir, then I will start adding the other ingredients. I'm going to be adding the dawa dawa and the crayfish that I blend together, pepper, seasoning, dry prawns, palm oil. Then I'll add the stock fish. I've soaked my stockfish before, but I'm just putting it now because it's still a little bit hard. I'm going to cook it with the soup because this soup is going to take a little while to cook. And please keep an eye on it because this soup can just foam and pour all over your kitchen. So you don't want to go away from there. Just keep an eye on it. So now I'm going to add the meat. Some people make it this way. They just add the meat without boiling it. Just add it to the cottonwood juice, all the ingredients, the pepper, everything together, then they cover it. But I'm not going to do my own like that. That is why I cook the meat for about 7 minutes with some onions and scotch bonnet to add more taste to the meat. So now I'm going to be cooking the meat until the meat is very soft and until the soup is thick. As you can see, the soup is very light. But I'm not going to cover the soup. Don't cover it. If you cover it, your soup is going to foam and pour away. So I'm just going to allow the soup to cook until the soup is thick. Now I'll be adding the smoked microfish. Then I'll make sure I stir everything together. Then I will leave it for some time to cook. So now I'm going to be adding some bitter leaf. Then I will allow the soup to cook for just 1 to 2 minutes. Then it's done. So guys, as you can see, the soup is already thick, and when the soup cools down, it will be thicker than this. So I'm just going to stir everything together. Then I'll just leave it for 1 to 2 minutes. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please tell me, what are you still waiting for? Run now and hit that subscribe button. Remember to set that notification bell icon to all. That will always notify you anytime I upload a new video. You can also share this video with your friends and family so that you all can be a part of this amazing cooking family. And you can use this soup to eat eba, semo, pounded yam, amala, anything you think of. This soup is really delicious, healthy, and so nice. You can give it a try. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this soup. I love you all, guys, and I would love to see you all again in my next video with another delicious recipe. Bye bye. Ciao.